You've got one ticket, right? Yeah, I'll give you the other one. مرحبا يا عبير.
Hello.
يعني نتمنى أنا وأنتي إنه نكون في هذا المنظر اللي خلفنا بالضبط في القدس يوم من الأيام.
Look how beautiful it is. إن شاء الله يا رب.
ربنا يكتب لنا زيارة. سألتيني إيش حنتابع اليوم صح؟ اليوم حنروح حنتابع عن بيسان. تعرفي بيسان صح؟ بيسان حلقاتها كانت كلها عن still alive. أنا ما زلت حية يعني صح؟ حلقاتها انه كل مره تعمل دوكيومنتري على اللي يحصل في فلسطين تكتب I'm still alive وعدد الايام فاليوم عاملين دوكيومنتري على بيسان كيف كانت حياتها قبل 7 أكتوبر والآن بعد. اليوم احنا في البيت الفلسطيني. شكرا. Wow, look at this.
Next to my friends in the
Palestine House is being created as a platform because, as you know, Palestinian stories has been censored everywhere. And to be a Palestinian, it's almost important to have somebody next to you to be validated or to be even acknowledged as a human, to be heard. So Palestine House does create that platform where you can be, I am a Palestinian, unapologetic, uncensored, without needing to be validated, and I can communicate with you and watch you, observe you, welcome you, and I can say loud and proud, ahlan wa sahlan, which is more than a welcome in Arabic. It's mean you are welcome in between your family in your green valley. This is a pregnant welcome, full of love and hospitality and care and safety. So you are in a safe zone where you can be who you are. You need that and we need that as well. We need you to hear us loud and proud, and you need to take it and do it your way, loud and proud. And you know what? Being in London, being in Britain, we as British people as well, upholding our British values up high by doing what we're doing tonight. And by doing what we're doing every day when we go to the streets. Because we refuse to be moo and cows and all of this. We refuse to take it as it is. Our British values does teach us how to question, how to understand, and how to act and how to be charitable. So if anything, we should be saluted, appreciated, taken to the king and given an OBE, not arrested, censored, and looked down on. We are upholding the British values. Unlike this 20,000 airplane that flown between London and America taking arms to make another genocide. And after all, the last genocide, the Holocaust, has been committed by European. And guess what? This Holocaust is committed by the same people directly and indirectly. Because without the support of the West, this genocide would not happen. So stop celebrating, remembering the previous Holocaust, because those victims will damn you if they're still here today, watching you enabling another genocide. And we have the right to block the street and say no, not in our name. Because when my child and your child stand later on and ask me, what did you do when genocide was taking place? You need to have a really good answer. A really good answer, otherwise he will never forgive you. She will never forgive you. So this is what we're doing today. On Sunday, I'm taking the liberty of being a little bit crazy, despite the fact that lots of my British friends have advised and paid for an anger management course because they think I'm angry. I'm not angry, I'm just communicating, and that's how we speak. If you don't know a Palestinian who speaks like this, then maybe you've just been spliffing with him, and that's not a Palestinian version. But we are hairy, that's how we look in the Mediterranean, this is how we speak. Take it. We don't need to go through an anger management course. Time. Thank you very much. Okay. As you can guess, we still have that time control. Thank you. Anyway, so to actually find and decentralize the way we are being told what is going on. We need physical spaces, and we need also cloud spaces where things can enlighten us and give us knowledge rather than information. So we are maturing instead of just getting older. So we are migrating into our imagination, and in that great nation where we exist, in our imagination, things can happen. So it takes a few crazy people to come with initiatives for things that you don't see to be seen. They happen on a different wave signal. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to package it and bring it back on a different frequency, very small, very achievable, and we will say, this is what's going on, you can do it. It's basically replacing this with that. It's replacing this habit. Keep that bad habit, don't worry. You know you're smoking, keep on smoking, just roll it. So you go outside. Then you can find yourself cutting it half. So basically, it is about, guys, you need to look for a Zionist friend. You need to bring your Zionist friend next time. Because they are their own victims. Perhaps if they see this stuff, they would change their mind. So let us not just go and attack them. Let us fry them with our own fat. Let us bring them, understand them, show them, convert them. That's exactly what we need to do. So we have a BOZEB, whatever it's called, bring your own Zionist friend. Like bring your own alcohol kind of thing. But it's like bring your own Zionist. For free, by the way. You know, just do it and you will see it happening.
Today I want to talk to you guys about narrative change. And I've worked in traditional media. I used to be a foreign correspondent. So basically back in 2010, I wanted to be a war journalist. And they basically said, you don't have enough experience, you're too young. And frankly, war journalists back then were almost exclusively old white men. Which is kind of weird. They're the experts in the Middle East. So I basically hitchhiked from South Africa to Syria, and I started telling stories. Ended up in Egypt during the first Arab Spring, was in Congo in 2012 when an ammunition depot exploded, and I was smuggled into Syria in 2014 with a group of surgeons that were building a hospital. And I became really good at telling stories with a mobile phone, way back in the days. I'm talking like 15 years ago, it was unusual to tell stories with a mobile camera, and that footage looked bad. But it didn't matter. Real, raw stories from the ground. When I arrived at CNN here in London, which is the international office, they have 200 journalists. In 2016, I was the only one that identified as Muslim. In London. Yet the Middle East might make up 30% of their news coverage. They used to come and ask me for my opinion on stories about the Middle East. I'm like, I don't know, go find an expert. So my wife and I, co-founders, we quit our jobs, we traveled around the world, we trained up 20,000 people in 140 countries how to tell stories with their phones. And we started curating that into shows. That's what CTV does. We went to Palestine multiple times. And today we have 50 creators on the ground in Gaza who tell stories and get paid to do it. That's what we're here to celebrate today, to watch their stories. You came to watch the Bisan documentary. We're about trying to create the next generation of Bisans. That's what we're interested in. And why are we doing it? It's all about narrative change. This occupation won't be won with planes and tanks and bullets. It's a storytelling battle. My parents are South African. My dad remembers windsurfing in Durban and the wind blowing him onto whites-only beaches. Can you imagine? The wind got him in trouble. My mum went to schools that were exclusively for people of color. She remembers being on the streets, needing to use a toilet, but she couldn't go inside because it said whites only. And this didn't happen very long ago. This was in my lifetime, right? Right till 1994. And we thought apartheid had ended, but clearly it has not. But we know how to defeat it. And it wasn't just the ANC's fight from the inside. It was also a cultural battle from the outside, and that was formidable in London. There were millions of people in Hyde Park screaming to free Mandela. You know why? Because they were told a story. They were told a story that black South Africans deserved equal rights to everybody else. That's why storytelling is so powerful and so effective and can take somebody from one side who's a pro-Israeli to a pro-Palestinian.
October 7th, this is what we further entrenches that view. It reinfused the stereotype of like us being attacked for no reason. But then everything else happened. When I really started like understanding and hurting was when it got to 40,000 people hadn't killed. I was completely brainwashed.
Do you feel like your religion's been hijacked?
Yes, exactly. I think that's probably the hardest thing. Has just been co-opted by this murder.
Because if you're human, how can you watch these scenes and not be horrified, right? But we can only make so much progress with short form videos. 1 minute, 3 minute, we do tons of those. I said we have 600. If you really want to make an impact on somebody, a film is very effective. If you can sit down with somebody for half an hour, you can actually change their mind. I watched Seaspiracy once and I stopped eating fish for like a year. It actually had a behavioral shift on me. That's the power of storytelling. It's very, very effective. As I said, this entire battle won't be won with weapons. It's a narrative battle about changing hearts and minds.
All my life it's so hard, and it's like the most hard decision I take it in all my life. I will never die from the bombing, I will die from my health.
So, guys, please tell us all we see the roof. Over my head. So, guys, tell me, if these are terrorist homes, how your homes are looking like? It's the day 134 of the continuous genocide against us. The Israeli army is waving shamelessly and threatening them to invade Rafah. So when Rafah invasion happens, all these people would not be able to find any place to go. Keep an eye on Rafah, keep an eye on Gaza. Ceasefire now.
There's no way out. Israel have completely closed off every site. They've done that for the last few decades. There's been a siege, but there's literally no way out. They've surrounded Gaza, they've split it in half. There's no way out. They're in a cage.
بس عم أقول لك كيف الناس ممكن تشترك وتساعد زي ما أنت قلت
Okay.
new producers.
Fantastic. So basically Seen Palestine بتلاقوه على بالعربي ولا بالانجليزي؟
زي ما أنت تحب عادي.
اي بالعربي. سو البيت الفلسطيني في عنده حاليا لينك بيوديك على السبسكريبشن تو بي بروديوسر عشان تكون منتج للكونتنتس اللي عم بيطلع من غزه من خلال سين بالستاين. والموقع www.palestinehouse.org وفي كل المعلومات هناك اللي انت ممكن تشوفها او ممكن تكون مهمه لك عشان تكون بروديوسر. سين بالستاين از ا فانتاستيك انيشيتيف تو ديسنترلايز الناريتيف، انه ما نخلي يعني نشيل المركزيه من الناس اللي بيعملوا بس كونتنت عشان تنشاف بالتلفزيون ونتفليكس وقنوات معينه. فنحن عم نفتح قنوات اخرى بناس على الارض بيعملوها بطريقه احلى واحسن وواقعيه اكثر عشان نوصل للقصه نفسها ونحاصرها من كافه الجوانب لنفهم شو اللي عم بصير وكيف فينا نساعد على حق وحقيقه.
شكرا جزيلا.
هون.
شكرا جزيلا. يعطيك العافيه.
I watched it from down there.
Oh, you ended up coming down. From here.
Watch my dog.
So many people and it's 7 floors. Wow, beautiful. I just finished watching the screening of Bisan, I'm Still Alive, and Ahmed, I'm Still Alive. وصراحة كان جدا مؤثر. It was very emotional to watch people on the ground filming as it is right now, and they're still there. And we just hope, inshallah, that they still remain alive and the genocide stops. And we've just heard from Palestine House organizer how you could help the new generation, the young generation, to become a producer and to hear the real news from the real people and how can they make stories. So it's quite easy of how you can be part of it and to subscribe by paying like £4 a month and help this great project.